once again. I'm your host, Jerry Dean Roberts of ArmchairCinema.com. Seated here with the gold standard and co-host, the critic, dare I say legend, from TalkMovieMe.com, Mr. Doug Heller. How did that go today, sir?
It's very brave to show one's shortcomings to the entire world.
David Niven, if you don't know.
Favorite Oscars quote.
I got that. I got that reference.
I got to do that the other day, too, actually.
Welcome to I'm a kid at Christmas right now, because this is our annual Oscar show.
You are more of an Oscars head than I am, but I do love the history and the playmaking and the guessing and the who's going to be nominated, who's going to take home the trophy, that little betting horse race. I love it. I love it.
You're about as caught up in the season as I am. I'm caught up in the whole history. I mean, I'm doing a Best Picture series for my Armchair Cinema channel. So, and it had to pause, unfortunately, in between the two episodes I was doing of Gone with the Wind so I could deal with the Oscars. But deal with this year's Oscars. But yeah, we do this every year. Our Oscar show is very simple. We run down, 10 films this year?
This year it's actually all 10, yeah.
All 10, yeah. Some, it could have been 8, but...
I think it could have been 10 regardless, just not exactly all of the 10 that got...
Just not what we got, because there are about 3 films on here that I think I would chuck out the door. I'm looking at one of them right now.
Well, yeah, the top of the list. That's that would be my first one to go.
Dude, I'm looking at yeah. But we do this every year. We talk about each of the Best Picture nominees, and we're gonna then after that we're gonna do kind of go around the board a little bit, talk about some of the other stuff and what's going on this year, because it's a kind of a sleepy Oscar year this year. It's not gonna. I don't see the ratings for this one being really at the top. I don't see, because there's nothing here that the normal people are really rooting for.
Sinners,
except for Sinners, yeah.
I think viewership is going to increase as a result of Sinners.
You think so? I think viewership of the movie is going to increase because of this.
I think so, but here's the thing, though. Like, a film like Sinners has never been in this position before.
Right.
Technically,
this is basically a genre piece.
Yes, and it's my favorite movie of the year, and I think it's a magnificent piece of work, a magnificent piece of art. That scene. I mean, we'll talk more about it, but I lied to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a Best Director Oscar right there in that scene.
Yeah.
And so I think that there is cautious optimism, much like there was in 2008 during the election. Nobody could really say, yes, this is definitely going to happen. There are very good things that are kind of pointing toward it. But at the same time, they like to nominate and then not award.
But what can sneak underneath it?
One battle after another.
Possibly. I was thinking that. And that wouldn't bother me.
No, that wouldn't bother me at all. I loved that movie. It's got the momentum. It's got all the wins. It's,
But I think Sinners has got more of the recent stuff. Because if you look at the Actor Awards recently...
The Actor Awards... Ryan Coogler is now the only director to have ever directed 2 films that won the Ensemble Actor Award.
Oh, yeah?
He is the only one who has directed more than one winner.
What was the other one?
Black Panther.
Black Panther, okay.
So
I was thinking either Black Panther or Creed.
Yeah, it's Black Panther. So I think even though PTA won the DGA, We'll get to the we'll get to the movies, and we'll talk more about these when we get to them. But I do think that there's a healthy momentum, and Christopher Nolan all but called out the director's board that said, if you don't fucking nominate this, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Um,
Not quit the guild. Kill you.
Yes. Nolan is the president of the DGA.
Yeah.
And the director's governor's board.
Yeah.
At the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Coogler is his apprentice.
Mm-hmm. A young apprentice.
And Coogler has numerously said that Nolan is his mentor. Mm-hmm. Nolan had this huge, big screening for Sinners.
Yeah.
Like, he hosted it. Like, he is letting people know under no uncertain terms that if you neglect this movie, your name is going to be shit.
Your name will be mud, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he is going to make sure of it.
Yeah.
So I think there is a good swing, at least for director or picture. If it doesn't win director, it'll win picture. If it doesn't win picture, it'll win director.
I want to say this. I want to say the best actor's a lock, but I said that last year.
Yeah. I was convinced this year was going to be Chalamet's year. Yeah. I was convinced last year was going to be Chalamet's year.
It still could be.
The actor in a leading role is wide open.
Well, and I mean,
Michael B. Jordan, Leo could take it.
Yeah. I don't think he could.
I think he's more of like a dark horse, but
I think it comes down between Chalamet and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I would put, if I were betting in Vegas, I'd put it on Michael B. Jordan, but at the risk of knowing that these things can switch up, because it did last year. Because we were both convinced that he was going to win for playing Bob Dylan.
Well, he should have.
It should have. He should have. It's a better performance than this.
Yes. We'll talk about Marty Supreme. We'll
okay.
Go. I've seen it twice now.
Yeah, I have too.
So anyway, let's start at the top.
Okay, I got the list here.
Me too.
And we are going to start our very first film. Stars Alicia Silverstone, Aidan Douglas, Jesse Plemons, and Best Actress nominee Emma Stone. Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and nominated for 4 awards, Bugonia.
Good morning, Corey.
Good morning, Michelle.
I believe every company should strive to form a diverse table, to empower people of different skills, and every time, what is it?
Skills and identities.
To foster a new generation of, okay, let's go again.
They want you to think it's you, that it's you who made this world. But it's always been them. All we've lost, all that's been done to us, we're setting that right again. Greetings. Welcome to the headquarters of the human resistance.
Where's my hair?
Your hair has been destroyed to prevent you from contacting your ship.
What ship?
Your mothership?
I have liked everything this man has directed.
Mm-hmm.
Because in an arid desert where everyone is directing genre pieces,
Yorgos Lanthimos does not give you a movie that you understand or expect second by second.
No, and he does not. He's playing by his own rules, and you're either on board or you're not, and he does not really care.
No, and this is actually Bugonia is actually a remake.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yes, it is a remake of a little-known, I want to say, Japanese or South Korean film called Save the Green Planet from 1968.
Mm-hmm.
It is very hard to get a hold of. But the director of it saw Bugonia, writer, director, creator, he did the original screenplay, and said that Bugonia was exactly what he was going for
Oh, really?
in his movie. Yes.
I want to say, though...
I loved this movie.
I did, too. This... before we kind of go into the spoiler zone, this, I'm going to say, is probably his most approachable film. I've seen his other stuff, The Lobster, The Favorite, Poor Things. I'm going to say this is the most approachable.
Have you seen Dogtooth?
I haven't seen Dogtooth, no.
I just saw it a couple weeks ago. Talk about inaccessible.
I think you can step into this.
Amazing.
Well, you can step into this more than probably his others. My favorite is Poor Things, because
I loved that.
I keep saying Poor Things is the movie that Tim Burton should be directing.
Yes, that is what a Tim Burton movie should be.
Right.
And it never is.
It never is.
But I loved Poor Things, The Favorite, Lobster. I just love this guy.
Yeah.
I actually think I have all of his films.
This is the most straightforward film. Now, before we get into this,
which is funny considering how not straightforward it is at all.
Okay, if you have not seen the movie, we're gonna do a little Family Feud ding here, and that means we're going into spoilers. And in the show notes down below is a link where you can skip forward. So, right now, we're now in spoilers. So, enter at your own risk. The story is this: Emma Stone plays the CEO of a pharmaceutical company. And she is kidnapped by Jesse Plemons and his buddy, poor Donnie. And
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna start laughing through this whole thing. This thing is just amazing.
He drags her back to the house, chains her to a bed in the basement, and insists, and I always lose people when I say this, that she admit that she is the leader of a group of space aliens
Venetians
that are have been controlling the human population, they've been controlling the human race. He has even shaved off her hair.
Because her hair is how they communicate. And he's
now I forget why they put the makeup on.
He's having her slather on a lotion. I think it's magnesium because it blocks tracking signals, something like that.
Her response when he tells her this, okay, hold on. Because she realizes how crazy this is. And the movie is just basically a cat and mouse game.
The glorious thing about it is you never know who's right.
Right. Until the end.
You don't know who's telling the truth, who's actually correct, until the very, very end. And it is not what you think it's going to be.
It is not what you think it's going to be. The ending, if you know this man's work, if you know his other films, it ends exactly like you think it does.
Oh, God.
Because we're in spoiler zone, I can say it ends up, she is the leader of it.
She is, and then she exterminates the entire human populace.
She just turns us off.
Yeah.
And we die.
And, like, it's so fascinating because, like, all of the things that Plemons is saying sound so outlandish and so ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, he's got that electroshock device. And he puts it to her, and he cranks it higher than he's ever cranked it before. And the thing that caught me immediately was when he turns it off and he goes, "It's never gone up that high before with the others." And she goes, "The others?" And I went, "The others?"
You've done this before?
How long has this been going on? How many people have you murdered?
And his little buddy, oh my God, poor Donnie.
So, I want to talk about this kid because this guy, the man is actually on the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
He's not acting, he's on the spectrum. And I think he gives one of the greatest performances in the movie because my son is on the autism spectrum. I'm on the autism spectrum. My wife is on the autism spectrum. This person is exactly who I expected to see in each scene.
Yeah.
He's smarter than the Plemons character is giving him credit for, but he's also extremely naive. That is
And
autism
you understand
spectrum disorder.
how he got manipulated into
Yes,
this.
that is autism spectrum disorder. He trusts Jesse Plemons, so he will follow Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
And it's not, and even though he's sitting there like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And that scene, that part where they're at the dinner table and it's getting really, really tense between Plemons and Stone.
Yeah.
And he's in the middle and he asks if he can go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That was ad-libbed.
He's got to get out of it. It's getting too tense. He's got to get out of it.
That was entirely ad-libbed.
Yeah.
Like the scene was so tense that he was just like, can I go to the bathroom? And it just worked into the scene. That is exactly how someone on the spectrum would react to that kind of tension, and just to get out of it, because it is just extremely uncomfortable.
Well, it's interesting that he would cast him, that they would cast him for this, and not just somebody to act. You know, like
Lanthimos wanted a kind of an innocent to challenge the brutality.
Yeah.
And he wanted somebody on the spectrum because he knew that people on the spectrum can't really tolerate nonsense.
Yeah.
So it's like he cast him to be kind of an emotional foil to the Plemons character. And I think it worked beautifully.
And he gets closer and closer, and as they get closer and closer to it, and it gets more and more tense, and the cat and mouse game begins to tighten up, he can't take it.
Yeah. Lanthimos actually said he feels his greatest accomplishment with this movie is finding him and putting him in the movie.
Yeah. Now, I will say this of the movie. I said earlier, this is his most approachable. With all of his films...
That doesn't mean it's approachable.
I'm thinking about it. With all of his films, I'm thinking about it for days, maybe weeks afterwards. I'm thinking about it. This one, I'm still
remembering the end scene of The Lobster. Always pops into my head when you're reading the books, trying to memorize the books. Always sticks in my head.
I'm thinking about the end scene of Poor Things. Or the Favorites.
When they're just sitting there at the...
Yeah.
in the garden. Oh, I loved it.
It's like something out of Lewis Carroll or something.
Only Lewis Carroll on, like, some serious hallucinogens.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that was Lewis Carroll.
That was Lewis Carroll.
Never
but
mind.
This one, when it was over, I was like, okay, and it was just disturbing. Now, you have to also remember, I saw this on the exact same day that I saw Frankenstein and Weapons.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't go to bed that night.
Oh, God.
I think I slept with the light on because I was like, okay, yeah.
Oh, man.
I put myself through the ringer that day.
So, like, I prepare myself for a Lanthimos movie. Like, I love watching them, and I'm always entertained while I'm watching them. However, I can never just look at it and go, okay, I'm going to put this on. They are not casual
It's not
movies.
it's not I've got an evening free.
None of them.
No, they are not.
Yeah.
And
This
I love
isn't
that.
I'm going to pop on The Favorite. I'm going to pop on Poor Thing. Always a challenge. And I'm happy that he is so venerated currently that he's not being overlooked in his time.
Right, exactly.
Because
I look forward
he has
to
the
whatever he's
filmography
doing.
that would definitely be like gee, this guy was amazing. Why didn't anybody realize that?
Yeah.
I found a lot of
died
those.
early and nobody recognized his work. Yeah, I get that.
Or even had a full career and 12 people liked his movies, and now all of a sudden they're reevaluating him and he's considered one of the greatest directors ever. That's happened on more than one occasion, too.
I'm waiting for him to make his commercial hit. Because I want him, he's well known, but I want him to be more well known.
I hope he never does.
Yeah, well,
because a commercial hit would not be a Yorgos Lanthimos movie.
this is as close to a commercial movie as he's ever made.
Yeah.
Based on the stuff that he's made before.
And the fact that he has routinely the biggest stars in Hollywood in his movies.
And he keeps working with Emma Stone. This is the third film he's made with Emma Stone.
Yeah, it was Poor Things, Kinds of Kindness, and this.
And The Favorite.
And The Favorite, so 4. He's done 4 with her.
She works out well with him.
They are close friends, apparently. And she also produces those that she's in.
And her name may boost it up a little bit, too.
She is...
She's a 2-time Oscar winner.
She is one of the finest actors of her generation in most generations, honestly. She came out of nowhere. Did you ever expect the cute girl from Superbad to be like...
Or Easy A.
Or Easy A, one of the greatest actresses to currently be alive and working.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I still wish Lily Gladstone had won.
Yeah.
Instead of Emma Stone, but Poor Things was a career performance.
Yeah.
If she never wins another Oscar, she won an Oscar for a worthy performance.
And also an argument against the no nudity clause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't something I was expecting, and by the end of it, I didn't even care that she was naked because you got used to it.
I remember seeing Poor Things got a costume award. I'm like, well, well, for most of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on now to our second film.
Do we have to?
This is our next movie stars Tobias Menzies, Damson Idris, Carrie Condon, Javier Bardem, and Brad Pitt. Directed by Joseph Kosinski and nominated for 4 awards. F1.
Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was. But I see possibility.
And if you don't love me now, we'll never...
My rook is a phenomenal talent, but he's young.
Never break the chain.
You plus him, boom, I got a team.
I can still...
When was the last time you won a race?
Sunday, Daytona.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula One.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
Or as my co-host likes to call it, F-U.
F you, yes.
Why is this nominated?
I don't know. It was long, it was boring, it was pointless.
It's
Do you know what it was? Did you know what it was? And I'm not being facetious here.
What's that?
It was live action Cars 3.
It was. It was. Absolutely.
It was Cars 3 live action, and I hated every minute of it. It dragged on for far too long, just like every car race.
Well,
And the only reason Apple produced it was because they were signing F1 to a thing, and they wanted to have like a movie to tie in with their sports franchise.
Well, there are good things in it, but they're all technical stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing here that's really...
This
it's the same thing. You remember a couple of years ago we were kind of questioning Ford v Ferrari? which also got
I
nominated
still
for Best
question
Picture.
Ford v Ferrari.
And remember when we were doing it was like it's the same thing here. I'm like, why is this nominated?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there.
It's almost the
other
same
night.
movie.
I'm sitting there the other night, and I'm like, okay, why is this formula plot, this predictable formula movie, running 2 hours and 43 minutes? There is nothing in this you couldn't wrap up in a $1.45.
No,
And
this is not a 2.5 hour movie.
Basically, what
Yet
this is.
they continued to make it one.
Basically, what this is. Spoiler ding. What this is Brad Pitt, back in 1993, was a huge deal. The Formula One racing team.
Oh, he was?
I'm getting, well, the character was.
No, well, yeah.
And I'm getting bored just explaining this plot.
Oh, God, yeah.
He had a career-ending crash, which I don't think they actually explain in full, in Spain in 1993.
They do go into it a little bit. I think near the end, when we're finally supposed to have like emotional connections to the characters.
And probably after I checked out.
Oh yeah.
But currently he is approached by his buddy, played by Javier Bardem, who should have played the lead actually.
Yeah.
And Javier Bardem is he's part of an Apex GS team.
He's the CEO of a team, or like a business that funds a team, something like that. And he's a former driver.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he was friends with Brad Pitt.
They've got this kid on the team, and because of him, they haven't scored a point all season. And
he's a rookie.
He's an arrogant rookie, and the people who own the team, the investors, are ready to pull up stakes and sell the team if they don't start making some headway. So he wants Brad Pitt to be the second driver as part of the team. And what follows, you already know
every single
what
thing.
Follows.
Everything.
He goes. He butts heads with the young kid.
And then eventually the kid starts to emulate him because he realizes that he wasn't such a bad guy and that the old
There's a
school
crash.
isn't just bad.
There's a devastating crash which should have killed him.
Yeah.
There's Brad Pitt and Carrie Condon, who's in 2 films this year. Two nominees this year. And there's all of the back and forth, butting heads. There's the arrogance. Brad Pitt is the kind of driver that, he kind of bends the rules in order to get results. Blah 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 blah. And you know exactly where this is going.
He's the old school guy that never settled down. So he's kind of this rebel. He's unconventional, but he gets the job done and all of this. There is nothing. Absolutely not one single shred of anything that is unique in this movie.
The only good thing I can say about it is Joseph Kosinski is because he directed Top Gun Maverick.
Oh.
And the only good thing I can say about this, it's comparable to that, is that within the action, he does know how to tell a story. He does keep the action oriented, so you do know what's going on.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't keep the editing oriented, so you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's a scene, you probably remember this, there's a scene right at the beginning when the team is standing in a circle and they're talking. It is edited like it was put through a food processor.
Like, it's chopped up and just going around and around and around and around, and, opposite people, and, I didn't even know, I couldn't get my bearings.
Yeah.
I had no idea the topography of the scene. I assumed that they were not in the same location at the same time when they were filming.
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's the only thing I can say good about it is that he does know how to orient the action, and that's about it. I'm telling you, by about the 90-minute mark, I was starting to I was they were losing me.
Yeah, I think I think you lasted longer on it than I did, but
I watched the
I
whole. It took me 3 days to watch this.
I couldn't do that. I had to watch it in basically one sitting, or I
Mhm.
wasn't going to go back to it,
Yeah,
and I knew that
you're
because
gonna be like,
I got partway through. I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom, and I'm coming back. I'm like, if I don't restart this, I'm not going
I'm
to
not gonna
restart
restart it at
this.
all. Well, let me put it this way: if you had dropped out at the 90-minute mark, it wouldn't have mattered because you already know where the movie was going.
Well, they basically had the story. They told the story, and then they started over
Right.
for like the last hour, and then the movie starts over again at the end.
Why?
I
Why
felt like I
is
was
this the
watching Manos, like it
longest?
just kept restarting over and over and over, like it was never going to end.
Why is this the longest movie nominated this year? Why?
It is?
I think it is. 2 hours and 43 minutes?
I want to say One Battle After Another's 245.
Is it 2:45? It shouldn't even be that. It just, oh God. Ugh.
It should be under, F1 should be under 2 hours.
F1 should be, like I said, it should be about a buck 45, and it would have been
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, nope. One Battle After Another is 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Yeah.
So I actually thought that was
Still,
longer. Nope.
still, it's professional. It looks pretty. Carrie Condon is wonderful to look at.
Always.
I'm starting to love Carrie Condon. She was the best thing in that.
Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, she got nominated for that,
Mm-hmm.
and she's in a film we'll talk about later too, and I didn't recognize her in that one.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm getting bored just talking about F1, so let's move on to our next film.
F1 could F off.
Okay, our next film.
Oh, thank God.
Our next film stars. Charles Dance, Lars Nicholson, David Bradley, Mia Goth, Oscar Isaac, and supporting actor nominee Jacob Elordi, directed by Guillermo del Toro, and nominated for 9 awards. Frankenstein.
My maker told his tale. And I will tell you mine. I remember pieces. Memories of different men. And I saw it. Your name. Victor Frankenstein.
I loved this. I loved every second of this. I loved that there are physical sets, there are props, there are things. I loved that it followed the novel, but actually tightened up the novel. Made things a lot clearer, gave the monster something to do.
This was the first of the nominees that I saw.
Oh, this was actually the last of the nominees.
Because it came out, I think it came out in October, and I saw
It
it
did.
then.
I had been
And
wanting to watch it. I was kind of waiting to see if I could watch it with my son, and then we didn't get around to it. And then I was like, maybe I should watch it with my wife. And then eventually it was just like, I gotta watch this thing.
well, when I saw it, I kept thinking, why does this feel so cold, plot-wise? You know, 'cause the human element. Why does it feel so cold? Why does it feel so? The humanity isn't quite there, and I realized
Which
why.
is rare for Del Toro.
Which I realized why, because that is the novel.
Yeah.
You will never see a more faithful adaptation of this novel because this is it.
Mm-hmm.
What you read in the book, you see here.
Yeah.
And what I loved about it is this could have been a silent film.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm watching this one night. There are images in this film I'm never gonna forget. Like, because it opens in the Arctic.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where Oscar Isaac is walking away from the ship, and he passes a man on a horse, and he's frozen to death.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just while the horse is going over an embankment,
Mm-hmm.
just frozen there. And I remember that image whenever I think of this film.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is produced to death. I mean, it is art directed to death.
I'm stunned that Del Toro didn't get a director nom for this.
I am too.
I mean, I think that they ended up going... the spot that probably would have been his wound up with Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value.
Yeah.
I think his nomination has been coming ever since The Worst Person in the World, which was also a very good movie.
And I think they might have been thinking, Guillermo del Toro. Well, we've honored him. Let's go with some new blood, I guess. But
I guess they don't want to make the top 3 Mexican directors 2-time Oscar winners. They just
possibly
just want to leave it at the 2.
But I enjoyed this. I like this quite a bit because every time they try to adapt Frankenstein, there's always something in the way.
Usually they adapt the James Whale movie, the 31, instead of adapting the novel.
Yeah.
They take the story that everybody knows and refurbish it.
Mm.
Hammer did the same thing in the 50s and 60s and 70s with Peter Cushing as Dr. Frankenstein. They're entertaining movies. They're not that good, but they're entertaining. I love I have a soft spot for Hammer horror. But
what's funny is that when I was watching this, I thought of a movie we talked about earlier, which is The Elephant Man, because I'm thinking I'm always fascinated by looking at 19th century medicine, because it wasn't quite because
listen, they were. It's a miracle they weren't still balancing humors during World War One. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I'm fascinated just because they weren't very good at surgery. They were just still figuring out anatomy. And the scene where Dr. Frankenstein is in that lecture hall and he brings that cadaver back to life is just creepy.
Yeah, that was horrifying. That was.
I'll tell you, I like this a lot better than I did that Nosferatu remake.
Well, this one, that one, David Eggers goes for atmosphere over story.
And he didn't give any humanity or any kind of anything to the creature. The creature felt like a monster rather than there's with the vampires. There's got to be a human element somewhere.
Nosferatu, it's supposed to just be a monster, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Murnau's, you look at Herzog's.
That was just a movie. It was a movie I always felt 10 feet away from. It just. Yeah. Well,
but this, I get the coldness. It's supposed to be because really the only thing in here that has an ounce of humanity is the blind guy and the creature.
Which, to our generation, young Frankenstein is always at the forefront. Every time you see an adaptation of Frankenstein, you're always there.
This is the first time I couldn't put Gene Wilder into it. Because he completely avoids all of those over-the-top James Whale moments.
Wait, come back! I was going to make espresso.
I loved that bit. The creature story, like the the last hour is just gorgeous.
I was thinking that the first hour.
That too. I mean, but the way that the relationship between him and the blind man, and when he comes back, and the wolves have come in, and that was already Sid Chekhov's wolves were, were brought up, and it just that whole thing unlocked the intelligence and the humanity and the just the understanding of the creature,
Which for me was reeled back in by the one misstep that I think Guillermo del Toro made, is that he made the creature basically superhuman.
In the book, though, that's basically what they said would happen.
Yeah, I know, but if they reeled it in a little bit, I think the humanity would have come a little more to the vulnerability would have come more to the forefront. But when he's being shot, and I mean he's Jason Voorhees. I mean he's being shot and he's throwing people around, and I mean it's. I'm thinking, okay, this is a creature built out of the spare parts of dead people. That there should be some kind of resistance from the body. I didn't like the superhuman element. But that's just me. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
At least it was handled better than they did in Frankenstein.
I never saw that.
Yeah, don't. Oh,
I never
you know
saw
what?
that.
You may end up having to.
Ugh.
That's a turkey month right there. That is a turkey month. I saw that in the theater.
Here's the funny thing. I saw this. I think this movie has come and gone. I don't think it's going to win anything. I think the zeal for this, because when it came out in October or something on Netflix, but I think it's come and gone. You know, it's not going to win anything.
It was really it had a big wave of popularity when it came out.
Yeah.
And
but other stuff has come along since.
Yeah, award season has helped keep it in the conversation, but yeah, I think it's moments past. Unfortunately, it's I don't think it's going to get much of anything. I think probably hair and makeup or costuming.
I don't think it's going to go here.
No?
No, I don't think it's going to go here. I think your costuming, that's going to be Sinners.
Well,
yeah. Yeah. And so let's move on to our third film.
Fourth.
Is there a fourth? Fourth. Okay, fourth film. Our next film stars Jacoby Juppé, John Alwyn, Paul Mescal, and Best Actress nominee Jessie Buckley. Directed by Chloe Zhao and nominated for 8 awards, Hamnet.
Is it true? You know everything about a person by touching them here?
Not everything. He's got more inside of him than any man I've ever met.
Who are you looking for?
William Shakespeare.
I have no talent for waiting.
The women in my family see things.
What do you see?
I see landscape, oceans,
You're having twins, my girl.
undiscovered countries. What do you wish to do, Hamnet?
I shall be one of Father's players.
Will you be brave?
Yes.
Will you be brave?
Brave! When shall we three meet again?
Our children's hearts beat. They smile, play. Never forget for a moment.
Mama!
They may be gone.
Mama!
This was an unexpected delight.
This is really good. I'm always resistant to young Will Shakespeare because I don't like these stories where they're talking about the writing of something or what inspired the writing of something.
Yeah, but this isn't
It doesn't
that.
focus on that.
No, this is William Shakespeare as a person, not as a writer.
it's not really about him.
No, he's a supporting.
He's a supporting player.
Yeah.
And what I loved about this, what I thought was really great, was that it's also about the time period, because he meets this. You get a sense of his home because his father's a bastard.
Yeah.
And he meets this young woman living in the woods who's been outcast because the whole town thinks that she and her mother are witches. And they meet, and they fall in love, and they get married, and they start a family, in spite of his father's objections. And what I love, the best parts of this movie, are just them trying to build a home and a life together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a window into what it would have been like to try to do that in the 16th century or 15th century. And the household that they try to build, the children that she tries to keep together, and the domestic life. That was the interesting part to me. So much so.
And so much of the movie takes place, like, you don't go to London with him to watch him do the plays.
You
stay
with her.
Right. And the children, and you get to learn how they felt about him and what was going on out in London, and he would come back, and but it was all really focused on her and the children. And when he was there, his dynamic with the family, which was quite good.
Trying to do better for his family than his father did for his family. Trying to be a different person. You don't spend a lot of time with him.
No.
I like the fact that when he goes off to London, you don't really go off with him.
Right.
And again, it's sticking by the family. Okay, spoilers. About halfway through this movie, the plague happens. And the daughter gets the plague. Well, she gets over it. But then the son gets it.
Yeah.
The son's name is Hamnet.
Yes. And the way that he...
This is a fiction, by the way.
Yeah. This is heartbreaking. It's based on a... I'm not quite sure. Anyway.
I don't know what this is.
I don't really care. So he's laying down next to his sister. His mother's fallen asleep. They won't let anybody near her. But she's trying to cure her with her natural medicines. Because, she was a woods witch.
Kind of home remedy.
Right. I mean, what else was there then?
Yeah.
But, so... but the little boy lays down and is kind of breathing back and forth with her, so close
and you're
that it's
sitting
like
there
the
going,
same
oh, shit.
air. And he goes, "Give it to me. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So you don't die," because she was always worried that the little girl was going to die.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Give it to me so you don't die." And then he gets sick and dies immediately. Almost as if the severity of it just left her and went into him and killed him.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's just breaking. I mean...
And that's also where you're sitting there going, boy, I'm glad I live in the era of modern medicine.
Yeah, children don't just die.
Let me tell you something. If you ever visit...
Sorry, that was a little bit of a knock on the...
I'll tell you what, if you ever visit an old cemetery, just kind of take a mental note of how many children die.
It's so sad to look at the dates.
Up until about the 1960s, you see young death after young death after young death after young death. Because the mortality rate of children up until that time was it was about 60%.
Yeah, that's why people had so many, so that they
Yeah.
would have a couple after that. After
Well, and and also they didn't have TV. Um,
well, there's that too.
yeah, when you gave birth to a child at this time, there was about a 75% chance that you and the child wouldn't make it.
Right.
You were probably going to die in childbirth.
Mhm.
And
Well, see, the one of the contributing factors to that is that they often took child brides, and they were like 14 years old and too
Yeah.
young to be doing that, and then died in childbirth, and then they went and got another young person to be the wife, and basically is just buying
But
a
even
daughter.
still,
You know what? Anyway,
but even still, if you're in your 20s or 30s, you know, modern medicine, quote unquote, you know, you were having a natural birth at home in the dirt,
well,
and you know, the mother's gonna
do you,
die,
do you
or
know?
the child's
Do you
gonna.
know? Do you know? Mother mortality rate in the United States is redonkulously high,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's worse for black women. That's why we never had a second kid.
I'm gonna say I like the first half of this movie better than the second, because the story of the film is basically that he, after this death, is inspired to write Hamlet.
It's the way that he processes the grief,
Yeah,
but he doesn't tell her that he's
she doesn't
writing
know
this
until the
play.
first performance.
He tells her he's making a comedy,
Mhm.
and it seems to me that she may never have seen any of his work. Like, she doesn't really care.
Or has they never been to the theater?
No, it's just like he brings home money, and that's just his job.
But I actually was really engaged with what was going on in the first. When he starts writing Hamlet, I think that's kind of where it started to lose me, because I was like, it's this metaphorical stuff. It goes into, it's all the things that go into Hamlet and all of this, and that was less interesting to me than them building a home together.
But see, when he's doing that, we're not really seeing the writing process in so much as we are seeing that he's just not there. And we see her coping with this horrifying loss. I mean, this was her youngest child.
Yeah.
Alone. And then she finds out that that her husband wrote a play called Hamlet that is kind of inspired by the concept of the boy. Now, he did not write in this story. He didn't write Hamlet as a tribute to Hamnet. He wrote it to. There's a beautiful little bit that Hamnet asks his mother if what she sees for him in his future, and she says that she sees him on stage with his father.
Yeah.
And when he dies, her visions are usually correct, right? Mm-hmm. But when she goes and she sees that and she understands what's happening, he wrote Hamnet's adulthood for him because he wouldn't get a chance to live it.
Yeah.
And that is, for me, what sets it apart from something like, I don't know, Shakespeare in Love, which was like a whimsical, let's have fun with Shakespeare, and let's have a story, and let's have a fun love story, and all this kind of stuff, and and it's a fun movie.
Bittersweet.
But this is this repositions Hamlet from a young man tragically dying to the life a child never got to have.
This is true. I just felt like when I got to the second half, the film, for me, broke in half, and it became a different kind of film. It's like you're dealing in the first half with the reality of the times in which you live. In the second half, and I guess I could say, because when you lose a child, your mindset and your perceptions are all different.
Things undoubtedly change, but here's the other.
So I guess I could say that's...
Here's my question for you. Mm-hmm. How is struggling with the death of a child through the plague not part of that life at the time? Like, you're saying that it cuts away. That was as big a part of life. That was a huge part of life.
Yeah.
For them. I mean, so I would push back on that.
I just say it's two different films.
Not to me, but
two different films, because you have the life that they're building, and then the second half is the death that they're dealing with. And you have the perspective.
Isn't dealing with loss also building a life?
But the perspective of what they've built, or what they've been trying to build, changes because they've lost their son. Mm-hmm. As it would. Mm-hmm. As it would. So, I guess if I watched it again, my perspective would be different on it, because I know what's coming. But the ending of the film, maybe I wanted something a little more life goes on, because it is very definite when you get to the end that she's found something and he's written something that can comfort them. Mm-hmm. And that's fine for the end of a movie. I guess maybe I would have liked something a little more life goes on.
I don't see why. I think that her crying on the stage and coming to the understanding that she's seeing her son on stage with his father,
doing the thing that she saw,
the culmination of her vision, and understanding that through this, her little boy will never die.
In that, in that way.
And it will be for the world to know. And I think that is a life goes on. I think they're gonna go back. They're gonna struggle, but they're gonna, go back to the two girls, and she's going to raise them and live a life, and maybe they'll have another kid.
And speaking of life goes on, I'm very happy that Chloe Zhao recovered from the Eternals.
Oh yeah. I wanted to love the Eternals, but
I did too. Chloe Zhao, I'm gonna say,
maybe don't
given
do
the whims of fate,
movies,
will have a long and fruitful career. Just stay with stuff like this. She's too talented for the big commercial.
She's too good to she's too good to have that level of studio interference.
Yeah.
Hanging over her.
I really admire her work, and I'm looking forward to what she's doing next.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on now to our next film, which stars Kevin O'Leary, Fran Drescher, Abel Ferrara, Odessa Azion, Gwyneth Paltrow, Best Actor nominee Timothée Chalamet, and directed by Josh Safdie, and nominated for 9 awards, Marty Supreme.
I have a purpose.
Okay.
Let me ask you something. Do you make money at this little table tennis thing?
Not yet.
Do you have a job?
No.
Backhand! Backhand! Forehand!
How do you live?
Well, I live with the confidence if I believe in myself, the money will follow.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work out?
That doesn't even enter my consciousness.
Maybe it should.
There's no turning back.
Everything in my life's falling apart, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Do you need any help? I could help you.
You want to go hunt Brooklyn again?
Put your money where your mouth is.
176, 177, 178. The mouse is back, baby. Yeah! Welcome to your life.
Marty, I can't support your mother for
You're not gonna have to. Because I'm gonna step up.
Step up.
I'm gonna step up in a way you can't even imagine.
Marty, I'm gonna make you an offer.
I gotta do it completely on my own. It's every man for himself where I come from. That's just how I grew up.
Hey, what are you doing?
I don't think you understand the stakes here. You find that funny?
I get nervous laughter sometimes.
My eyes broke, or is that mouse, baby?
Thank you so much.
You're my pop. We believe in you.
Hey, I'll rip that unibrow right off his forehead.
You wanna get physical?
This one.
I think I like this more than you did.
The first time I watched it, I hated him.
You're supposed to.
But I mean, not in the way that, like, I didn't like what he was doing but admired his persistence or anything like that. I just couldn't stand him. I couldn't, I was routinely insulted by his lack of just awareness of other people.
He's the kind of kid who is probably good at anything he picks up, but has no discipline to actually build it into any kind of career. Timothy Chalamet is it the 1950s?
Yeah, 1952.
He is this kid who is a prodigy at anything, but his most upfront talent is manipulation. Because he has this talent for being able to do something, get on someone's nerves, start talking to them, and the more he talks, the more he breaks them down. And whatever insanity that he is aiming at, they start to consider it. He is so manipulative that he's just able to do this. You make a great politician.
Like, here's the thing that I found about him is, like, yes, he is manipulative.
He's a little shit.
But he is also very easily manipulated.
Yes. Yeah, so it goes back and forth.
He has no concept of pride when it comes to getting what he wants. But when it's in front of him, that's when his pride kicks in.
Yeah.
It's like he will debase himself for anything, and then when the opportunity is presented, he'll say, no, I'm too proud for that. It's the stupidest thing. But he's 23.
Right.
So the thing that was really annoying me was his dogged pursuit of capitalism, and just this, not just, I mean, he wanted money.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't sympathize. I couldn't get anywhere with him to actually be able to admire him, even if I didn't like him.
You weren't supposed to admire him.
And it, like, I kept seeing these quotes, like, you know, it makes you feel like you can do anything. It's very it's invigorating. It's very affirming. He's tenacious. He'll go after and get whatever he wants. Yes, he will.
Yeah.
He will also hurt
and
rob, cause death.
He does not care.
Doesn't care. And I couldn't. I couldn't. But when I rewatched it, because when we were talking, you and I, about it, and
I'm sitting there laughing at him.
I was talking about how much I just detested this kid and everything he was doing, every way he treated everybody. The second time I didn't like any of it either, but I stopped blaming him because I realized I was blaming the victim. He is only doing this because this is what he was taught to do by big business.
Yeah.
He culturally, we have basically said, do everything you can to make money. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter who you hurt. It doesn't matter how stupid you look.
He's living the capitalist mantra.
Right. Which is absolutely the biggest play. Like, that is the biggest manipulation in the movie, is that he somehow believes that through all of this, he's going to make it. When all these rich people want to do is see what they can do to get him to the next spot to make him do something worse.
When he is on the phone and he breaks down Gwyneth Paltrow, she's a former Hollywood actress, and he is able to break her down, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, eventually they're going to have sex. Just the way he was able to, I'm thinking that's because that's what he's aiming for, is sex. And eventually they do. But what really surprised me was when they're sitting in the restaurant and he does the same thing to her husband. He just keeps talking and keeps talking and keeps talking. And the more he talks, the more enraged that guy gets. And the more enraged he gets, you see his face soften, and he starts to actually consider what this kid has to say. Yeah. And I'm thinking, he has this real talent for manipulation, or doing the most outrageous thing, and then eventually getting what he wants. And it's like, it's fascinating to watch how that works.
Yeah, and I think so here's it, the thing that really took me, and I still at the end watching it the second time,
I didn't like the ending.
It tries to tell you that now he's a changed person.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
And I'll tell you what, I think he's about as changed as Alex DeLarge at the end of A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking somebody with this extreme personality is not going to be like that. No, they're not going to, especially not at his age.
He's going to try.
Because too much of this is a drug.
Yeah, he's going to try, not for very long. He's going to continue to be centered on himself.
Yeah.
While telling himself that he's focused on himself for his family. Mm-hmm. When really he's just doing it for himself.
Right.
The kid is just an awful little shit, and I just can't. I just didn't get there with it. I think it's a good performance.
I just didn't like where it went.
Yeah.
And I like movies. Ostensibly, I like movies about unpleasant people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Raging Bull was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't like Jake LaMotta at all.
You can't like those people. You can't like that man. A Taxi Driver, for example. I mean, but
90% of Martin Scorsese's movies.
Goodfellas. You can't like these people. No. But they're fascinating to watch. And
yet in some way in Goodfellas you do end up liking them, and that's what makes people upset. That's what concerns people about Goodfellas.
What got me and what really irritated me was because I kept waiting for him to hit a brick wall. I kept waiting for him to land at the shoes of a person who he could not manipulate and who would hurt him. I kept waiting for that person, that brick wall. And it never really happened.
No. Did you know that the person he's portraying is based on a real person?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That scares me.
Yeah.
And I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. He's based on a real person.
Yeah. His voice of sanity is Odessa Azion, who did not get a nomination for this.
Which is...
It's really sad.
Yeah.
She got a Golden Globe nomination. She did not get a nomination for this. And I don't know if she was nominated. I don't think she was nominated for the actor award. But yeah, I really liked the build up, but I didn't like where it landed. Again, it was trying to find an out for him almost.
Yeah.
It was just I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. As we were talking earlier, I don't know if Timothée Chalamet is actually going to win with Michael B. Jordan in his way.
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. But
yes,
this is how do you?
Yes, she was nominated for supporting actress at the Actors,
but not the Oscar. My question for you: how do you compare this with Uncut Gems? Because Josh Safdie directed both.
But Uncut Gems was co-directed with his brother Ben.
Yeah.
Funny story.
The smile drops when he says that.
So, Ben and Josh Safdie were working together all the way up to what was the last one that they did?
I know the only other movie I remember them doing was Daddy Longlegs.
Oh, it was definitely not. It was long after.
Funny
that.
Pages?
No. Good Time, Pleasure of Being Robbed, Uncut Gems.
Yeah, the only other film of his I've seen were Daddy Longlegs and Uncut Gems.
Okay, so it was during Uncut Gems, I think, or during Good Time in 2017. So they did a scene where there was a sex scene, and apparently years later, after Uncut Gems came out, they discovered that the girl in the scene was under 18 at the time. And I guess there was some pretty, I don't know, like abusive language or something like that that was just very bad. And I guess Josh was in the director's chair, Benny was running the sound, so that he was in charge of the set at the time, Josh was. And there was some really bad conditions in the scene that ultimately led them, I don't even think they speak at the moment.
Oh wow!
Like, I thought that they just had a professional, hey, we want to do our own things as well as stuff with each other. They seem to have a really good relationship, and then I was wondering why they each had a film this year, and neither one of them were credited on the other's film. I figured Benny would be producing Marty Supreme and Josh would be producing The Smashing Machine, and that they would both probably have written it, and that they just decided to direct them separately because of time schedules. Maybe Timothée Chalamet was available at the same time that Dwayne Johnson was, and they had to split up to cover both pictures. That's not what happened. And it's sad, but yeah, they had just a personal falling out and decided to end their creative endeavors together.
Yeah. I saw Uncut Gems. I like that a lot better than this. I like Daddy Longlegs a lot better than this. I enjoyed the performance. I didn't like the movie because I didn't like where it ended up. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not falling in love with it. And most people who see this will probably not last about 15-20 minutes into this because this kid is such a shit ass.
Yeah.
But I don't know. we'll talk in a minute about whether we think Timothée Chalamet will win the Oscar. But let's move on to our next one. This one stars Regina Hall, supporting actress nominee Teyana Taylor, Chase Infinity, supporting actor nominee Benicio del Toro, supporting actor nominee Sean Penn, best actor nominee Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, and nominated for 13 awards. One battle after another.
What I'm doing here is I'm creating a closed circuit. Very important to keep your cap shunted like this so you don't accidentally detonate your charge.
Don't stop. I want you to create a show. This is an announcement on revolution. The message is clear.
I'll be seeing you very soon.
Not if I see you first.
Viva la revolution!
For bringing justice to the vigilante group known as the French 75, we are here to award Stephen Lockjaw with the Medal of Honor.
You have to understand, Willa.
Me and Mom used to run around and do some real bad shit. They got hurt. Now they're coming after us. I'm sorry.
I didn't ask for this. That's just how the cards were rolled out for me.
It's not cards. You don't roll cards. It's dice.
Dad, what is wrong with you?
You're right.
Let's go.
This movie is about a lot.
Yes.
If you took every Paul Thomas Anderson movie that's ever been made and put it into a blender, I think this is what comes out of it.
Kinda. So basically, this is almost in a not too distant future situation.
Right.
This is like, hopefully not, but predicting a state within the United States of civil unrest, armed civil unrest.
You can feel a volley of Trump commentary just bubbling under the surface of this movie.
Yeah.
And I saw this, and I think I was very fortunate for doing this. I saw this without knowing one thing about it. I didn't know who was in it. I knew that it was nominated for Best Picture, and that was it. I knew nothing else. And when it started with this group of radicals who are going to do a raid on a border.
That first scene's a pisser, isn't it?
Well, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is, and also this is another one that almost runs 3 hours. I'm thinking this is going to be a long giant commentary on ICE, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I hear enough of this on a daily basis.
It turns into a great stoner comedy.
It turns into a lot of stuff. I want to call this a satire. I don't want to call it a reportage of what's about to happen in our country. I don't want to call it that. So I'm going to safely put it in the category of satire because this movie is batshit.
Yeah.
And it starts with that raid in which Teyana Taylor, who's absolutely gorgeous, I've never seen her before, creates, I think, one of the most fascinating images I've ever seen on screen, and that's her standing in a field, 8 months pregnant, firing off an AK-47.
Right next.
With the AK-47 propped on her
rested
pregnant belly.
On the belly, yeah. Yeah.
But you don't really know where this is going because she and her boyfriend, played by DiCaprio, they... how do I describe this? They get together, and she's pregnant, and then she goes through postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
And she has apparently had sex with this Army colonel, played in the gooniest performance I think I've ever seen from Sean Penn as Stephen A. Lockjaw.
Yes.
Now, if you know how far to the left Sean Penn is,
Mm-hmm.
then you know what he's putting into this performance.
Yeah. He's an army colonel who is in charge. That seems to be in charge of deportation raids.
No, he's in charge of rounding up Mexicans.
Basically, yeah.
Let's just call it what it is.
But he has a distinct weakness for black women.
And he doesn't want to admit it.
No.
Because he's racist.
But she
unspooled something in him.
I was going to say pushed a button, but that would be a little too on the nose. with the motel scene.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do the spoiler ding. So we're in spoiler zone. Go ahead.
Yeah, she gives him a rim job in the motel, and she literally pushes his buttons. And as you're sitting there, you don't really know if this baby is Leo's or Pen's.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it doesn't really matter because Leo is her father.
Right.
He drops the revolution entirely. He wasn't that good at it anyway. To care for this baby. Right.
And she disappears basically from the film.
Yeah, they find out that she turned herself in to turn evidence.
What's her name? Perfidy? Is it Perfidy Beverly Hills? I love
yes.
that name. I love that name. She's got an ally.
Although I was actually particularly enthralled with Jungle Pussy, but
I was just gonna say. Thank you. I was just gonna say that. Yeah. Did we mention this movie is bad shit?
This is so unlike anything I expected it to be. Like, and people have to remember, Paul Thomas Anderson is not just the Phantom Thread and There Will Be Blood.
Right.
There is also Inherent Vice. There is Boogie Nights. There is
The Master.
The Master kind of folds in with like There Will Be Blood and the Phantom Thread, like this big dramatic push. PTA
He takes the wheels off for this one.
He has always had a streak of bizarre humor.
Yeah.
And it's emphasized to a ridiculous degree here. This is like a spiritual successor to The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
This is like what would happen if the dude had to be in a civil war.
It's just about a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The fascinating thing, the part of the movie that I found interesting, and I would love to sit down and talk to Paul Thomas Anderson about this, is that Sean Penn is trying to get into a group that I can only describe as, if you can imagine if the Illuminati was run by a bunch of neo-Nazi corporate billionaires.
Okay, so anybody listening, basically this group is the racist Nazis that were in The Boys. In season 3 with Chet Knightley, or I think the really rich guy that was like prided himself on being the ancestor of slave catchers.
Yeah.
That is this.
Neo-Nazi corporate billionaires, I like to call them. And
so basically, who's in charge of our government now?
and apparently, according to this movie, seemed to be in charge of a lot more than just the country. Seemed to be in charge of everything. And so much so, since we're in spoiler territory, I can say this. So much so, and this is where it goes crazy. They have in their office complex a dummy office that doubles as a gas chamber.
Yeah.
With a furnace on the wall.
They know what they're doing. They've got their shit together, man.
It's just this dummy office, and all of a sudden Sean Penn is sitting there. He's looking at the ceiling, and all of a sudden this gas starts coming out, and I'm like, this is a gas chamber.
Yeah.
And it's just this normal empty office. And they close the door, and then they come in the suits, and they pick him up, and they open. Yeah, they open the thing on the wall, and they just shove the body in it.
Yeah. Listen, when you murder on scale, you have to have a good disposal.
Everything needs a good exit strategy.
Going back to Frankenstein, look, he had no plan on where to store everything else. What did he have to do? He threw it in the sewer.
Yeah. This is just
He
crazy.
was not prepared. They were.
Because backing up, basically what happens is, years later, the daughter, played by Chase Infinity, how did she not get nominated?
I do not know, outside of the fact that she's black. Do you know if she had been nominated, this would have been the first movie in, I can't even remember how long, that would have 5 actor nominees and 1 in each category?
Yeah.
It has been absurdly long, and if she had gotten that nomination, it would have been the first time in a very long time that 5 nominees and 1 in all 4 categories.
Tipping toward moving back, to the plot, essentially. After the raid on the border detention center, it cuts to years later.
Yeah.
And Chase Infinity is the daughter of Tiana Taylor. And you might have to take over the story here, because this is where I start to get lost.
So he basically, he's raising her. They're in hiding. Mm-hmm. They can't use modern cell phones. They can only use early analog, like Nextel
Nokia's.
Nokia's, thank you. And see, he's in hiding so that they don't find him and his daughter, because they would be assets to, because the Tiana Taylor, Perfidia Beverly Hills, escaped from custody. And
tragically, Jungle Pussy got killed.
Yeah. The pussy die. Quote Kill Bill. But she gets away and goes into hiding herself. Never goes looking for them.
Yeah.
But then DiCaprio runs into the Sean Penn character at the store, and he's like, "Oh shit, we've been made." And then they have to get out. So he calls in. He can't remember the passwords. This is Leo's goofiest role, and I loved every second of it.
Oh, I don't know. There's some parts of Wolf of Wall Street that are the part with the Quaaludes in Wolf of Wall Street was still pretty good.
Yeah, but this is
more consistent.
Bob is just,
especially when he's going from phone to phone. He's going from phone to phone, and he keeps calling the same guy. and he can't remember the password, and the guy just will not.
And eventually he gives the phone to somebody else who was in the movement at the time. And he's like, okay, now we're talking to, we both know each other. And the guy's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize who you were.
Well, he did what he was supposed to do. He did what I would do. It's like, no, you have not given. So he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Exactly.
And it's a fascinating, this long chase, and they keep running into people that are part of the movement. No matter what happens, how widespread this thing is.
They're crossing paths. Like,
yeah.
They're looking for somebody, and they literally drive past them and don't realize.
He's in a hospital. He's in a hospital. And the attending nurse tells him, okay, I'm going to unhook this. I'm going to leave the room. Get up, walk out that door, walk down the back stairs and around the back of the building. It's like there's somebody somewhere in every scenario that's part of the movement.
Yeah.
It's like the French underground.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
It is.
You know.
He has friends everywhere.
And eluding his friends everywhere. And it's alluding to the idea that eventually the United States will have to become a French underground.
Yeah.
But he's trying to find her. Eventually he tries to find her. And it's this brilliant... There's a brilliant chase scene at the end of this movie. I can't even describe it. Chase scenes nowadays are a dime a dozen, but to have one put together with this precision and this skill is brilliant. That chase, who's the guy chasing him, or chasing her? I think is it her or him? It's been a while since I've seen this.
He's trying to get Sean Penn is trying to get the Chase Infinity character because he needs to DNA test her to see if she's his biological child, because if she is, he has to kill her so that he can get into this neo-Nazi white supremacist organization.
Right.
And if she's not, then he doesn't care and whatever.
Yeah.
But she is the thing that links him to, because they ask him repeatedly, have you ever had relations with somebody who wasn't white? And he's like, nope, never.
With that question mark is still floating around.
Right, and then all of a sudden he finds out that she had a kid, and then he's like, oh.
She had a kid. She had a kid who's biracial.
Right, she had a kid who's biracial, but she had a kid. It would line up with when they had been together. It all kind of fell in, and he's like, uh-oh, I want to be able to join these terrible people,
but I can't.
But I can't if there's proof. So, regrettably, she is his biological daughter.
Yeah.
And he does try to kill her, and he fails spectacularly, on a lot of different levels, and winds up getting taken out by the Christmas people. The organization, because they found out that he might have something, and they're like, even if there's doubt, we need to eliminate him and not have this be on a stain on our record. So regardless, they were just gonna kill him. They left him for dead. He comes back somehow after being shot point blank in the face.
He comes back and he's trying to explain how it happened. The story does
that he
not
was
line up.
raped. That he was raped by her.
The story does not line up at all.
No.
And that's why they find just cause to kill him anyway.
I think there was just cause to kill him in the first place, but
this is a movie that I was talking to a friend of mine about this, because this is an extremely difficult film to explain to anybody. I said, I think this movie will mean more to you probably the further on the left that you are.
Yeah.
If you're in any way conservative, you're not probably if you're on the right in any way, shape, or
Not
form,
gonna like this
you're not
movie.
gonna like this at all.
No,
because
no.
you know from the first moment where this movie's head is. You don't know the direction it's gonna take, but you know where this movie's head
You know
is.
where its mindset is, yeah.
Yeah, you know its mindset is, and it never is the same thing. We're talking about F1. We're talking about how it's just predictable down the line. You can never predict where this is going.
No, this,
And I love that
Bugonia,
about it.
Sinners, Sentimental Value, you don't know where any of these are going. The Secret Agent, Train Dreams, all of them.
Every time I see a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, I'm always asking myself as it's getting started, okay, when does this turn into a Paul Thomas Anderson movie?
I think I've loved every movie of his that I've seen. I think I only need to see Hard Eight and Inherent Vice yet.
I think The Master was the only one I didn't come away feeling like I really loved it.
I was kind of dazzled by that, but I think a lot of that was the performances. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Joaquin Phoenix, and Amy Adams are phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah. Well, this one, like I say, I always walk in and, okay, when does it start being a Paul Thomas Anderson movie? Phantom Thread, I remember about halfway through, I'm like, okay, here it is.
Yep. The poisoning. When the poisoning starts.
Yeah. When he figures out the poisoning.
Right. And lets it continue. Yeah, that was a
This one, I got it from that image.
Yeah.
When she's standing in the field with that AK-47 and that pregnant belly, I'm like, okay, this is it.
Yep.
This is where it starts. And it is all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And I see people in the future studying this movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this isn't going away.
If it's not been banned by the government.
Well, there's that.
But I see this. I was telling you.
Buy it on physical media, folks.
Yes. Yes. Before the black bands come down.
Yep.
But I was watching this and I told you, I said, I think I see this on Criterion.
Oh, I could see that.
I can see this on Criterion.
Warner's has a good relationship with them too, so that.
I can't honestly say that maybe about any of the other films. I'm trying to think of any of the other films.
You should probably get used to Sentimental Value being in the Criterion Collection because they've already announced it. They've already announced it. It's going to be in by I think May. I think it comes in May.
Well, let's move off and on to our next film,
which is.
I think you're going to have to kind of take the reins on this one a little bit. It stars Gabriel Leon, Tiana Maria, Carlos Francisco, Best Actor nominee Wagner Moura, and a special appearance by the late Udo Kier. Mm-hmm. Directed by Kleber Mendoza Filho, and nominated for 4 awards, The Secret Agent.
Essa é a pessoa.
Eu quero buraco na boca. No teu caso, é o que eu mais quero resolver.
Tem matador me procurando? É isso que você tá dizendo?
Tem. Você acha que você devia estar aqui mesmo?
Eu vou levar meu filho.
Olha, é uma sacanagem, um grau.
Agora você tem que estar sexta-feira cedinho lá.
Que ele é Armando?
Não. O nome dele é Marcelo.
Armando? Armando?
This one's tricky.
It is.
This is. It's actually kind of a companion piece, if you will, to One Battle After Another. Because
kinda, yeah.
There is also an underground movement here where this guy is an agent of. And it's like a subversive movement against a totalitarian government. It's Brazil in the early 70s.
Yeah.
Which was a dictatorial nightmare. So he gets he something happens to him that he has to leave where he is, and he goes back to his hometown, where he accidentally, on purpose, gets mixed up with the police captain that is one of the lead enforcers at a corrupt agent, and
he kind of backs into it.
Right, and it's just he kind of falls into this mission of getting this police chief taken out of the position that he's in, and he is this he's the guy that throws his weight around and says that everything in the town is there because of him, and if he wasn't there, nothing would be there. And you know, he's like the Brad Wesley of 1970s Brazil. Brad Wesley is the antagonist in Roadhouse, for you kids that don't know.
I built this town. This town wouldn't exist without me.
Right, yeah.
You wouldn't be anything. You wouldn't have a job without me.
He brought the J.C. Penney and the photo mat. Anyway.
Yeah. See that school over there? I built it with my own 2 hands.
Roadhouse. Anyway.
Yeah. Roadhouse.
And this is a very understated film.
It is.
It is exactly the same length as One Battle After Another.
And it's the same complicated story, kind of, as One Battle After Another. But if One Battle After Another is in 5th gear, this is probably in 2nd gear.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I have ADD. I had a little trouble with this one.
Too.
Because there's a lot going on.
And it's all very quiet.
And there's a lot to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept going back and watching scenes and kept going back. I eventually got it, but I'm going to say, and I'm not saying this as a slap at the film, I didn't enjoy watching this. Because it was so complicated and because there's so many characters and so many things. That's not the movie's fault. That's my fault.
Yeah. I mean, and really, his mission seems to alter here and there.
Yeah.
Because first of all, he's a tech expert that he's leaving a city, going back to his hometown.
Yeah.
Now, that then appears to be a cover for him going back to his hometown to try to find records of his mother so that he can destroy it, so that there's no proof that he exists, so that he can be a better agent in the movement. So, and all of that is happening. He's in this records office that is commandeered by the local police to fudge something that says basically a person died at the hands of a rich person, but they don't want the rich person to be in trouble, so they're finagling it. Corruption galore. And they're not even letting it was a kid that died. The kid of a servant of this person. They're not even interviewing the mother. They're not doing anything for this poor servant. They are only catering to this rich woman.
Yeah.
And so he gets kind of a dual focus where he's trying to get his mother's records, but he's also gathering intelligence on this horrifyingly corrupt official that, you know, it starts to blend into a new mission or a co-mission at the same time. It's very it's very in depth. It's very quiet. It doesn't really give you a lot of signals as to what's happening. You have to really pay close attention, which is why I know I need to rewatch this. But
a rewatch would help.
Overall, the story is very powerful, and the actor Robson Andrade won the Golden Globe for Best Actor. drama, if I remember correctly. Upsetting everybody's. And so maybe he's a dark horse.
There are images in this film, and I remember images rather than the story. Just the first scene when he pulls up to that gas station, and a few feet away from the gas station is a dead body, and it's laying under a piece of cardboard.
And they're trying. He's like, I called the officials. I didn't kill him. It was all this other thing. I've tried to get people to take
the revolution.
Yeah, I was trying to get people to take the thing away, take the body away. Nobody's come, and then the police come to harass this guy, and he's like, "Oh, you finally came to get the body." They're like, "We're not here for that. What are you talking about?"
And they start nosing around his car. He's driving a Volkswagen, and they couldn't care less about the body laying a few feet away.
No, they don't.
They're looking at his car. They're looking in his car. They're looking in his glove compartment and all this. And they just let him go. Mm-hmm. The image of this foot sticking out of the mouth of a tiger shark.
Yeah.
In a classroom at the Oceanographic Institute. Which in the imagery here, I'm fascinated. The scene that seems to come out of nowhere, where the guys go to visit Udo Kier, R.I.P. He was this German soldier with a bullet in his leg.
But he was anti-Nazi, I think.
Yeah.
But he was mandated into service.
Yeah.
What they do to him is just in unconscionable. Like there's it's unforgivable the way that they treat this man.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that's unconscionable.
Well, yeah. But they want him to tell the story about how he was wounded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he doesn't want to tell the story.
He doesn't want to tell the story. Notably, this is actually the second film that we're talking about that has a World War II reference. There's this one, and then there is the honey scene in Marty Supreme that comes out of nowhere, exists alone, and I don't think I could be more grateful for it. It is the weirdest, and most beautiful story.
It's almost a pit stop.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on here, and honestly, I watched it. I enjoyed the movie. I just didn't pick up. I was like, I need to watch this again because there's just a lot that I'm not picking up here.
There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of things going on that you can definitely miss if you're not really fully into it. I actually would have preferred if they were dead set on nominating somebody who directed a non-English language film. I would have preferred to see Kleber Mendoza Filho get nominated for director for this over Joachim Trier. Yeah. Although I did like Sentimental Value quite a lot.
Well, that leads into our next film. Jesper Christensen. Supporting actress nominees Elle Fanning and Inga Ibs-Daughter Lilos. Best Actress nominee Renata Resavi. These are Swedish names. Supporting Actor nominee, yay, Stellan Skarsgård. Directed by Joachim Trier and nominated for 9 awards. Sentimental Value.
Why didn't you want to do the role? He wanted you to do it.
I can't work with him. We can't really talk.
My father is a very difficult person.
Du kan ikke bare late som han ikke er I byen, kan du det?
Hva prøve? Er det han?
I wish that I knew what I know now. When
filmerna? Hvordan er det å jobbe med Rachel Kemp?
Det är på tiden att vi sätter oss ner och pratar, du och jag. Är inte det?
Jeg syns kanskje det er litt vanskelig, Anna.
Men jag vet att det har varit svårt för dig. Jag känner igen mig i det.
Hvordan ble du en så bra person med den oppveksten vår?
I really liked this.
I did too. You don't think of a family drama coming from Sweden, but
I do. But
I mean,
I've seen all of Bergman's movies almost.
Let me tell you the value. I mean, I'm talking about modern day. The value of this film is that the only way that you can really appreciate it is to compare how it would have been handled in an American film.
Mm-hmm.
It would not have been as complex as it is.
No, and this...
it would have been more of a satire, I think.
This kind of story could only have been told from Europe.
Yeah.
And honestly, probably, this is an incredibly Swedish story.
Yeah. And Stellan Skarsgård, what a year. I mean...
oh, man.
This and Andor.
Like, I still don't really know why he's not nominated for lead and how he got supporting.
I call category fraud, because he shouldn't be in supporting.
No. But he's playing a past his prime film director who had been once venerated, but now has kind of been forgotten.
And he wants to make that one last film.
He wants to make the comeback film. Right.
But the comeback film that he wants to make...
involves his daughter, who he used to direct, but they've had we'll call it a falling out.
We'll call it a falling out.
It's not a healthy relationship.
He has two daughters, and he was never really home during their childhood, and he left. Their mother committed suicide, and he now wants to make a film about that suicide. And the daughters
starring his daughter
as
his wife, as her mother. Yeah.
And the daughters have two totally different reactions to that.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about it is that both of these daughters are written as different, separate people.
Oh yeah, very much so.
You don't feel like they're just two sides of the same person. They're two totally different people, different lives, different agendas, different mindsets. One is angrier with him than the other, and
both have acted with him though.
Yeah, both have acted with him, and both are both just have a very different approach to him. That scene where he's sitting in the restaurant with his daughter and he hands her the script, there's a look in her eyes that's like, I'm intrigued, but are you nuts? And it's like, this is a very bold idea that's got a lot of
talk about
pain
a personal
in it.
film.
It's got a lot of pain in it, and it's his way of working through it. And he's not a good person. He's not a stable person.
No.
But you don't hate him.
No.
But you realize he's a man very much with feet of clay. And the movie is essentially how those two daughters react to him and what he's trying to do.
Right.
And the way he has a very casual way of destroying relationships, not on purpose.
Not entirely
but by being selfish, by not thinking things through, and not being and totally ignoring any measure of empathy that he could have.
And just ignoring how anybody else is going to feel.
And he also is in his 70s, and he sees that the clock is ticking, and wants to make this personal statement, wants to make amends, wants to do this, and realizes that time is short.
Mm-hmm.
So you do see his point of view. And
you just don't agree with it.
You just don't agree with it. Which I think makes the characters very human.
Yeah.
Very real. If you're looking for a Tom Hanks movie, this isn't it.
No.
If you're looking for an American romantic comedy, this isn't it.
No.
This is a very complex family drama.
Yes.
And I love that for it.
Yes. And it boasts the only person in the supporting actor category that I will accept winning that isn't Delroy Lindo.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only person who's not Delroy Lindo that I will accept winning this Oscar is Stellan Skarsgård.
And it's not going to be either one of them.
Nah, I hope it is.
Well, it's going to be Sean Penn.
He's already got 2 leads. Leave him be.
I know.
If you're going to do it for one battle, give it to Benicio. He deserves a second.
That won't happen, though. But
his character is so good.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the whole underground railroad system that he has set up.
Right.
It's just a few small beers.
This is a film I don't know Joachim Trier's work. I don't think
the only other one I've seen was from 2021. It's called The Worst Person in the World.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
With the same lead actress here, Renata.
Reza B.
Yeah.
When I wrote this down, see, I write down the names of the people. I had to write out her name phonetically so I wouldn't screw it up. I should have done that. I should have done that with the director of The Secret Agent.
Yeah.
Because I just some of these names I really want to get them right.
He has a very, very, very Brazilian name.
Yeah. Joachim Trier. What is that one? Let's see.
But he's garnered a lot of.
And I've seen Louder Than Bombs.
Mm.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, he's good. He's a very good young director. I'm glad he's getting the attention that he is at this point.
Well, good young director. He's 52. He's younger than I am.
He's older than me. But yeah, I mean, he's young in terms of his work, not necessarily in terms of his years.
He doesn't have a large filmography.
No, and I like where he's going. I like where his work is headed. I think he's got a very promising future.
Especially with this.
I can absolutely see him now coming over to Hollywood and making movies over here. I hope he doesn't.
I don't want him to.
I hope he doesn't, but I could see that happening. Yeah, this was just a very... It surprises you all the way through. Like, you don't really know what's going to happen with it, and you're not...
Because the writing is based on the characters, it's not based on the plot.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes they do movies like this, they put the plot on rails, and it kind of has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
This, when it's over, not everything is resolved. There's still feelings out there. Things are resolved, but things aren't resolved.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to the end, it's... they're in a better place than they were when they started, but they've still got a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I like that kind of ending. I like the better. I don't really care much for a sad ending, but I like an ending that is, its life goes on.
Yeah.
You can feel that the characters will continue. Not so much that you'd want a sequel, but you can see how they're going. But I really, really love this.
Yeah.
This is the kind of movie I really love, because I can wrap up in a blanket and I can get caught up in this.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of initially put off by Elle Fanning until I figured out what they were trying to do with her, because she, and in the face of not being able to get the daughter to play the role, he hires a popular American actress played by Elle Fanning, and she's every bit of an American actress. And it's like you can feel almost the intrusion when she comes in. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but you can feel the intrusion. It's like, okay, the daughter really should be playing this. Yeah. And it's like they're trying to get the accent right. They're trying to get, and she's just not. She doesn't fit. And I'm not saying there's a fault. It's like that's the way it is. I liked her very much for that. I like that they cast the character in that light. It's like she's not coming in and taking it over. She's just it feels a little off because she comes from the outside in that way. I'm babbling. I'm sorry.
I love that she is a serious actress. Like she wants to do the role right.
She's out of place.
But I think even she figures out she shouldn't be there.
But as much as I love this one, we're going to move on to our next one because I know this is the one you've been itching to talk about.
I almost put this in October.
Yes. We are talking about Omar Benson Miller, Jamie Lawson, Miles Caton, Haley Steinfeld, Best Supporting Actress nominee Wunmi Masako, Supporting Actor nominee Delroy Lindo, Best Actor nominee Michael B. Jordan, and of course Best Actor nominee Michael B. Jordan. Directed by Ryan Coogler and nominated for 16 Academy Awards, ladies and gentlemen, Sinners.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will. With all the things that I seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now. To get back inside.
Let me in, man! Some weird shit going on out here!
You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
Yeah, this movie was only not nominated for one award that it was eligible for.
What's that?
Actress in a leading role.
Yeah.
The other categories it was not nominated for, it was not eligible for. Best documentary,
animated,
short documentary, short film, animated feature, adapted screenplay.
Yeah.
None of them, those five, they couldn't.
This movie basically Lord of the Rings, except for Best Actress.
But even more so.
And when did this come out? This came out last April?
This came out in like April or May of last year. And it has held on to its popularity and gained just exponentially throughout the year. everybody was like, there's no way they can ignore this movie at the Oscars.
They still can.
And every black person said, yeah, they can.
They still can.
They still can. And I would be heartbroken but not surprised if it walks away empty-handed after being the most nominated movie of all time. Because they similarly nominated up The Color
I was going to
Purple
say, if they color purple...
and didn't give it a damn
I would be
one.
shocked. I would not be shocked if they didn't color purple this thing. Now, I'll say this. The Color Purple, that was a Spielberg thing. Because they were punishing him for that. Because how dare you, the most popular director, you made 2 films in a row that were the top money makers of the year, and the film that he made before that was Temple of Doom. How dare you think that you can pull it back down and now try to create a work of art from this book that was controversial over having a white man direct it in the first place, and then so it was we're going to glorify it with all these nominations and then screw you at the Oscars. I'm afraid I would not be surprised if that happens with Sinners. I don't think it will, but
I'm concerned of it. I
given
know
the
that it's a
forward momentum,
possibility. I don't think that it will because I think Christopher Nolan would burn the Dolby Theater to the ground if that happened.
Yeah.
And he would probably have help.
Yeah.
I think. Listen, when I went to the theater for this, I didn't know what I was going to get.
I knew nothing about it.
I had no idea it was a vampire movie. And I'm getting into, they're really focusing on the music and everything, and this is music that I listen to a lot. The guys that they're talking about, they say that at one point they said he said that it was Charlie Patton's guitar. That Stack told him it was Charlie Patton's guitar. Smoke is like, what? No, that was our father's. The fact that they actually said Charlie Patton was a blues musician from who recorded between 1929 and 1934, but he's often considered the monolith of country blues in Mississippi because he taught Son House how to play, and Son House is the person that taught Muddy Waters how to play.
Yeah.
He actually also taught Howlin' Wolf a little bit how to play the guitar. When Howlin' Wolf was just a little boy. So it's I loved that this whole early 1930s blues world in Mississippi. They're setting up a juke joint. They're outlaws. It was forming into something that I was gonna love anyway. And then I Lied to You happened. And I couldn't imagine. I fell deeper in love with it. And then it started to become a vampire movie. But it wasn't invasive. Like, it wasn't just tacked on. The vampirism is an allegory to cultural and identity theft of the black people from white. The black Americans to the white people taking their culture. They wanted to assimilate, not to broaden. So it's this phenomenal just allegory of what life was like then and what life is still like in a lot of ways for black Americans.
I did this out of respect for you. I saw it a second time. The first time I saw it, I knew Michael B. Jordan was in it. Based on the poster, I thought this was a cop movie. This is a movie about cops or something like that. I knew nothing about it. I didn't even know it took place in 1932. And they come to this small Mississippi town in 1932, which I'm thinking, oh shit. Mississippi in 1932 for black people was a snake pit.
I just love how they're buying that barn, and it's the first thing, y'all Klan?
Was it a lumber mill? Was it
something like that? But I just love it. It's like, y'all Klan? It's like, no.
They come down.
And
they've been in Chicago, where they have been. Was it they were enforcers for Capone? I can't remember if they.
So the backstory for these guys,
both played by Michael B. Jordan,
has been written out. Yeah, it has been written out, and basically, what happened is they collectively murdered their father, went on the run, got separated during World War I. Were both drafted and got separated, and kind of went their own ways. One of them got into Chicago, one of them got into New York, and then they kind of came back together, and they went into Chicago and robbed two warring gangs. Because that's one of them is wearing the garb of one Chicago gang, and the other one is wearing the garb of a different Chicago.
They had
gang.
something to do with
So
Capone.
they had just come right from infiltrating, so they stole all this money from these two mobs in Chicago and on the run, and they went back down to Mississippi to basically just restart their lives. And
they bought the sawmill, abandoned
bought the sawmill, and they turn it into a juke joint, and the whole day is them basically going back through their acquaintances through town and getting this opening set up. The people to make the food, the people to make the drinks, all of this stuff, and imported beer, and all kinds of things that just getting the musicians, getting, what was his name in the movie? Delta Slim?
Delta Slim.
Delroy Lindo, he's a piano player, harmonica player. They've got Miles Caton, whose 21st birthday it is on the day that we are recording this. As a matter of fact. Who has come out of nowhere. He had a single, like, last year, or in 24. And then he has this. And I think he's got a blues album coming out soon. But, because I actually saw footage of him playing with Buddy Guy recently. And I'm like, oh.
The first time that I saw this, I knew nothing about it. And I'm sitting there, and it's like, this story, these guys come down from Chicago, and they take their money. They're supremely confident. They are not the products of what is around them. And they come in, and...
No, they exist in spite of what has happened around
exactly. And they buy this place as essentially a safe space. The opening oration of this movie, the opening narration, is beautiful, in which you hear this person tell the story of, if the music is right, you can see through time, basically. And they come in, and again, they open this, what is a safe space for them, for the people in town, and for their music. Again, in this snake pit of the Mississippi Delta. And there's a scene, a magnificent scene where the camera moves through the juke joint. Yeah. And time means nothing because you see all of these different dance styles from everything from swing up through hip hop.
And instrumentation coming in and blending with just the guitar and how it just kind of unravels and unfolds and blossoms into this gorgeous, incomprehensible, just merging of everything
that in lesser hands would have been laughable. This is a very risky move. Now,
this is one of the finest directed pieces of film, I think, in my opinion,
since Scorsese and Goodfellas. Since that scene where you're going through that one shot.
Yeah, the steady cam.
About 3/4 of the way through the movie, and I didn't know this was coming.
Neither did I.
Becomes a vampire movie.
Imagine seeing this
now,
in the theater.
I'm sitting there watching this. I don't know it's coming, and I'm thinking, oh, please don't go here. Because I'm like, don't take what is immeasurably a beautiful film and throw it into a genre. And I'm thinking to myself, and as the vampire plot takes over, my heart just sank. This is the first time I saw the film, and I was saddened because it didn't. For me, it wasn't. I'm talking about. I've seen this twice. This is the first time I saw it. I'm like, oh, please don't go here, and it did. And when I walked away from it, I was so disappointed because I'm thinking, I can't. Now, I told you a few weeks ago, I said, I'm going to watch this a second time out of respect. And
that's why I rewatched Marty
Supreme. And I did.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get a better idea of where it was going because I know what's coming. Mm-hmm. I get the metaphor. Because you and I have talked about this a lot, about the appropriation of black music into rock and roll. You and I have talked about this infinitely, numerous times.
Yeah.
And I get now the allegory. It's, to me, a little maybe too direct, but I get where it's going, and I appreciated it much more the second time.
Remember the audience that he had to get through.
This is true.
I mean, this is uneducated America here, and this took off like wildfire.
Right.
And I couldn't be happy.
I probably, if I sat down and wrote an analysis of it, because if this thing wins Best Picture, then eventually with my Best Picture project, I will have to. I'm going to have to watch it again years from now because I'm only on Gone with the Wind. I think once I start to break it down, I will probably appreciate it even more than I do now.
Yeah. I loved the basically the two-pronged attack that Coogler does, which is ingratiate you in the beginning and then show you what has genuinely happened to this just theft of mannerism and music and dress and
whitewashing.
It's and perfectly illustrated with Jack O'Connell.
We're gonna do a full episode on this.
More than likely, this is one of my two Shocktober
for Halloween.
picks
Yeah,
for 26.
I will look forward to that because this.
Yeah, because I'm.
Let's say it again: 16 Oscar nominations.
16 out of a potential 17.
I predict it winning 7. I predict it will win Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, and some of the production design, costumes, art direction. I predict at best it may have 7.
Yeah. I think Frankenstein's going to take production design.
I don't think so. I think this might. I really don't. I think Frankenstein is coming on.
The fact that they built the sets and Del Toro was very adamant about that and adamant about letting everybody know that he used real sets and not CGI. There was CGI in it, obviously. The wolves, the mice, and all that. But
should Michael B. Jordan get 2 Oscars?
I think he should get 5, but I think he's a little. I think it's a little late to the party for him getting his first nomination.
But should he get 2 Oscars?
Personally,
it's 2 roles
or 2 nominations.
Yeah, 2 nominations. I mean,
they should nominate him for Smoke.
Hell, in my introduction, I mentioned him twice. It's a performance so nice. He played it twice, and that's the great thing about this. You can't tell they're separate people. You know which one is which.
Yeah, you do. You do.
But we're gonna move on because we are definitely gonna come back to this.
Oh, and look for 2 post-credit sequences. The first one follows up the story and meets up with what Sam years later, and it turns out to be Buddy Guy.
Oh wow.
And Smoke and
Stax.
What's it? The Haley Stanfield character. Go to the bar and see him and are like, "Hey, Sammy."
Dressed in cross colors.
He's like, "Oh, hi." They're like, "Don't worry, you're safe. We're not gonna kill you." And yeah, so yeah, I love and the second one is actually him singing this little light of mine on the guitar, and it's beautiful.
Okay. Our final film,
last one,
stars John Deal, Kerry Condon, William H. Macy, Clifton Collins Jr., Felicity Jones, and Joel Edgerton. P.S. None of them were nominated. Directed by Clint Bentley, and nominated for 4 awards. Train Dreams.
Beautiful, ain't it?
What is?
I didn't think you'd be on this soon.
Well, I just couldn't stop walking until I got here.
What are you thinking about?
I was thinking that we ought to get married. This is rough work, gentlemen. Not just on the body. We just cut down trees that have been here for 500 years. Upsets a man's soul whether you recognize it or not.
You think that she knows that I'm her daddy?
Deep down, she knows it. Even if she doesn't know she knows it yet.
In the forest, every least thing's important. It's all threaded together. So you can't tell where one thing ends and another begins.
Do you think bad things that we do follow us through life?
I don't know. I've seen bad men raised up and good men brought to the knees.
This was incredibly unexpected.
This was the movie I wanted to be longer.
Yeah.
Because this basically is telling a man's life story, and I'm thinking it was an hour, and it's just under 2 hours. I think.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah. The fact that this is under 2 hours
F1
and
is
F1
2 hours and
is
43 minutes.
almost 3
Yeah.
hours is just a
I could have handled
travesty.
F1 at this length. Okay.
Oh,
This
yeah.
Train Dreams.
At least it would have been over
Train
faster.
Dreams is it's like you're sitting down to read the novel of a man of no importance.
Yeah.
Because Joel Edgerton just plays a man at the early part of the 20th century, and you just follow his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he does this narration where, and the only thing that passes for a plot is that he marries Felicity Jones, and they have a child, and they've apparently died in a fire, and that's the plot. The rest of it is just his life. It's things that happen to him, people he meets.
So, when I first read the synopsis of this, I thought whoever wrote it did this film incredibly dirty.
Yeah.
And I still do. Because the synopsis is a logger and railroad worker leads a life of unexpected depth and beauty.
Yeah.
In the rapidly changing America of early 20th century, basically saying, this guy should be a fucking moron and completely uninteresting, but somehow he has a real life and he has depth and beauty. It's like, you're really ragging on this guy.
Beauty of it.
Like,
Beauty of it.
why is it unexpected? Because he's not educated?
The beauty of it is...
I got so mad at that.
The beauty of it is that everything that happens to him is everything that happens to anybody. Is that every single person on the face of the earth has experiences, meets people that mean something. Even the coldest, meanest, most thoughtless person has experiences happen to them, and meets people that shape how they think, that has events that shape who they are. And as they get older, those events change who that person is. And this is one, again, a man of no importance. But it's just the things that happen to him and the people. He sees
it's just
the efficacies or the manners of love through his wife. He sees the manners of aging through the William H. Macy character. And also the unpredictability of life, because the way William H. Macy died was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's just weird, because a man that has experienced as many years as he has and probably seen as many things is felled by a falling branch.
Yeah. It's the irony
of it. It's the randomness of life. When it was over, because this movie takes place roughly from about World War I right up until John Glenn circles the Earth. I wanted it to go longer. I wanted more when it was over.
Yeah.
And I was bowled over by it. It was like, no, I want more of this.
See, the unexpected beauty and depth is the movie.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't know what to expect with this, but boy, it's a
I didn't know what to expect while I was watching it.
Me either. And it's a very rewarding.
It is a very rewarding experience, and there's no way that you can really. It's not a movie you describe; it's a movie you just experience.
No, I wish I'd have seen it in the theater.
So, just to wrap these things up, I'm going to talk about just a few of the other films that are nominated, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Song Sung Blue, which.
Well, first of all, why don't we talk about Blue Moon for a second?
I haven't seen that one.
Hawke. I loved it. It's really,
I
really good.
Seen it.
He gives a hell of a performance, and in a different year, I absolutely would have backed him for the statue. He gives a marvelous performance. It is a well-made picture. It's endearing, but it's also very dramatic and emotional, and it's highly recommended, and his performance is phenomenal. He said that he expects in about 10 to 15 years people will look at this and say, oh, this was a masterpiece.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think he's right.
I haven't seen this yet. I was going to watch this last night, but instead I watched Surratt.
Ooh, I still
which
need
is
to see
nominated for Best International Feature, and it's about a man in
and editing
in the
isn't
African desert. He's looking for his missing daughter, and the movie is more of a visual, an audio and visual experience, as he's following this party that he thinks his daughter is part of, and they run into these people, and he says, "Yeah, but there's another party later tonight," and he goes and follows that party, and it's basically the government raiders are running them off, and it's really very moving, but it's a sensory experience. It's the kind of thing you want to watch late at night, and you want to watch it with the best sound you can, because the sensory experience is really where it is. But I got to move back to Song Sung Blue, because I saw this last night too.
Yeah, I haven't seen
this. Is the movie that I thought was going to be.
I don't want to see this.
I saw this last night. I thought this was going to be a Neil Diamond biopic. It's not. It's about a guy who becomes.
It's about something even sadder.
It's about a guy who becomes a Neil Diamond impersonator. Now, but I will say this about the movie. Now, this movie's terrible, first of all. No matter what it's about, it's terrible. The first 30 minutes, I'm kind of dazzled, because I've never seen a movie about this subject. Hugh Jackman wades into this world of fringe musicians. The kind of people that you would see playing in the lounge at a hotel. Or the kinds of people that you would see playing the lounge at a bowling alley. Yeah. Or the people you see playing at a state fair.
This is. Do you remember the SNL routine with Will Ferrell and Anna Gasteyer, where she would be at the piano, and they would sing these weird little songs, and they would like be at like a swimming pool or a bowling alley or something, and they were. Do you remember that bit? Oh, It's that's kind of how I envision things.
But you know, if you remember the Blues Brothers, you remember Murph and the Magic Tones. It's those kinds of people.
Yep.
And he is a guy who is he does all kinds of different acts. He calls himself Lightning, and he wades into this kind of world where there's a guy who's playing. He's a professional James Brown impersonator, and all these different people. There's a woman who is an impersonator of Patsy Cline. That's Kate Hudson. And
aha.
I didn't know that the image of a professional Buddy Holly impersonator singing "Oh Boy" and played by Michael Imperioli was something I needed in my life, but there it is. You know?
Fuck you, now I have to watch this movie.
Watch the first 30 minutes. Because I'm telling you, once the plot gets rolling, this thing falls apart. All it is basically they're shitty people, and they have a shitty life, and he is a jerk. He won't listen to anybody. He's a lovable loser, and he has heart trouble. And their act becomes modestly successful.
Ooh. At one point, does he at any point start to have heart trouble and say, "My pills," and take a pill and he's okay?
No.
Oh wow!
But there is one. There is one where they're dragging.
I would have expected that from this kind of movie.
There is one where they're dragging around a hospital, and he pulls his stepdaughter into the room and wants her to, because he's having a heart attack, wants her to use the pads on him.
The defibrillator.
Yeah. Don't get a doctor or anything. I mean, you're only in a hospital.
Yeah, don't get somebody who knows.
Now, the reason that they're in a hospital is because Kate Hudson got run over by a car while watering her flowers. And
that makes it sound more hopeful than I'm sure it is. But
well, and then first of all, you know where this movie's going right away, and eventually.
And I don't want to I'm not knocking. Like, I love Kate Hudson.
there's no reason for her to be nominated. Okay, she can sing, fine. Who cares?
Yes, there is. Because there was a serious chance that a black woman could win.
Who cares? I mean, it's just like you're watching this and you're like,
they do. Apparently.
I didn't even look. I got so bored with this movie about the last 20 minutes. I bailed out and just read the rest of the synopsis on Wikipedia. And it ended. I'm not kidding. It ended exactly the way I said it, the way I thought it would. But I'm just like, they do get, because Hugh Jackman just will not listen to anybody. They get their first gig as a Neil Diamond tribute band, and he insists, because everybody keeps telling him, you gotta open with Sweet Caroline. He wants to open with Salome. And they keep telling him, okay, look, you're playing a biker bar. These are guys in leather jackets. These are mean guys. You don't want to open with a biblical parable.
Right.
And what happens is exactly what you think happens.
I'm going to guess that he does it anyway. He does it anyway.
And it's just, I'm sitting there going, why is Hugh Jackman in this? Why am I watching this? Why was this nominated? Let's move on. Because I want to talk about If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Which I thought was a comedy.
I haven't seen this one yet.
Which I thought was a comedy.
Oh.
I did. I thought, based on the title, I thought this was a comedy, and I sat down and I watched it.
Oh.
And
I bet that was jarring.
Because Rose Byrne, her first nomination, plays a woman.
Somehow, only her first.
Plays a woman. Wasn't she one of the handmaidens? I think. Yeah, I think she was one of the handmaidens in Attack the Clones. She.
Yeah. She was the aide. Yeah.
She plays a woman who is raising a 6-year-old daughter who has a stomach ailment so severe that she has to have a feeding tube. And her husband is away. I can't remember if he was in the Navy or if he's just working on a ship. But he's away for 6-7 months at a time. And she's trying to raise this child with medical problems, and every single fucking thing that can happen to this woman does outside of losing the child or her own life.
And her legs.
She does not lose her legs, believe it or not.
I said this to you, and I stand by it. I know that it wasn't a comedy. I know that it didn't happen, but I would have given anything for her to have actually lost her legs and say, if I had legs, I'd kick you. Because I can hear her say it, and I need to hear her say it.
She's just absolutely everything bad that can happen to her. In the first 7 minutes of the movie, her daughter goes to the bathroom, and she says, Mommy, my feet are wet. She goes in the bathroom, there's water all over the floor, and she goes to the bedroom. It's raining on her bed, and the ceiling collapses, and they have to live in a motel. And it's just,
oh my!
And she's being hounded by her daughter's doctors because she's not showing up for the support group, and it's just one damn thing after another.
It's Murphy's Law of the movie.
Yeah.
Except better than the one that they actually called.
I thought that this was going to. The director Mary Bornstein is a new filmmaker. For the first 7 minutes of the movie, all you see is Rose Byrne's face. You don't see another actor. I thought this was the way the movie was going to go. I thought, well, that's a very interesting, very bold choice. She doesn't stick with it, but I thought that's an interesting choice. I love when a director just tries things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not a happy film. It's a hopeful film that you keep hoping that her life will get better. You're glad she was nominated. She makes an interesting choice in that you never see the child. You hear her, but you never see her until the very end of the movie. That's an interesting choice because you're always just with her. It's a good movie. It's not a fun movie. But you feel for her. And there's a movie I want you to talk about, The Perfect Neighbor.
Oh.
I have not seen this.
So this was up for documentary feature, probably win. It's about a few years ago. I want to say it was during lockdowns. Story came out about this young woman who had been shot and killed through the door of her neighbor, who had been known to be antagonizing the children in the area, and had taken a tablet from one of these boys, and she went to go retrieve it. And as soon as she knocks on the door, she fires a gun and kills the woman right there in front of her child. And then tries to say, I was scared for my life because she was banging on the door and I thought I was going to die. That none of what she said happened. Because the police are going, the way you're telling it, there's like minutes in between here, but really there's not. You just picked up the gun and shot, or you were waiting for her. And so it's a documentary that is basically told from body cam footage. And it's absolutely devastating. It's horrifying the way that this woman would yell at these kids for playing on a lot that she did not own, that they were not making a lot of noise. They were playing football. She would consistently call the cops on them, saying that they were trespassing. She did not own that land. She didn't, even her rental agreement wouldn't have extended to that portion of land. It was an empty lot. And the owner of that lot said that these kids could play there. But because they were louder than what she decided they should be, basically this was a woman who shouldn't live in a neighborhood with children. First, and second, shouldn't live in a neighborhood where there are a mixed race neighborhood, because she is the worst kind of racist. She's just calling cops just because the kids were alive, basically. And then she murdered their mother and tried to make it seem like it was her protecting herself. That didn't go. But the movie itself, I mean, it's hard to. It's on Netflix. It's hard to watch, especially if you were already aware of the situation, like I was. It's devastating. It is a devastating picture.
I can tell you a situation that I was aware of, because there's another nominee that takes place in my home state. It's called the Alabama Solution.
Yeah.
And it is a portrait.
Which sounds terrifying, but apparently it's not.
Which it is terrifying, because it's about Alabama's traditional handling of its prison system, in which people are murdered casually. They're never investigated. There's no, because they're inmates. Who cares? That's and our governor, our illustrious governor, Kay Ivey, who's about to leave office after 8 years, her solution to all of this, her solution to the prison problem. Not a minute too soon. So her solution to the prison problem was to take 9 of our most crowded prisons and shuffle all of those inmates, and I do use the word shuffle, all of those inmates into 3 new supermaxes. That was the Alabama solution. Spend $9 million of the state's money to do this. Instead of trying to improve them, we just make them bigger. And what's interesting about this film is that it goes through several cases of injustice. It also allows you to understand how everybody's hands are tied politically, particularly given the area that we're in. It's very complex. It's also aggravating. It's also extremely aggravating. The other one I saw the same night was Come See Me in the Good Light, which, given the Alabama solution, is wow. It's a very soft film by comparison. It's about Andrea Gibson.
Yeah, hasn't Come and See Me in the Good Light like a... Keep going.
It's about Andrea Gibson, who's a poet, and the movie is a document of her life. She was documenting it, the life she has with her wife, and her coming out, her acceptance, her becoming a person unto herself, and also at the same time dealing with ovarian cancer. It's a personal document, and I liked it quite a bit. This is what documentary filmmaking is about. It's about...
Very cool.
You wouldn't see this in a fiction film. If you did, it would be trickled down just to the cancer. It wouldn't be about the life. Yeah. But is there anything else I really had to talk about? Let's see. Because we're coming up on 3 hours now.
We're still shorter than F1.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to the Oscars.
Yeah,
we'll do a follow-up show when it's over.
Yeah, we always talk about the winners then after. But yeah, that's all I got. Hit that like, subscribe, and notifications buttons down there at the bottom there. We greatly appreciate it. Tell anyone you feel to listen to us. We would greatly appreciate any new people. And recurring, we thank you very much for listening, and the pod bay doors are now closed.
That's Hooey Valley, Hooey Hollywood, where any office boy or young